Hi, this is Dan Maher. Welcome to Math098. The first thing I'm going to go through is a syllabus. Here's my name spelled correctly, and my email address and my cell phone number. The course ID is right here, and up here in Math098 5334 is the actual course ID. I won't have any office hours for this class except by appointment, which usually you can get to me through email. I check it often and respond quickly. Here's the book and the platform we're going to talk about. You'll need a TI equivalent calculator. Basically, I want a tool that when you take the test, which are proctored, you have to do under supervision of a teacher or a proctor. You need to have a calculator that you can't do any programming in. Cell phones, those kinds of things, it would be hard for a proctor to see if you were getting additional information. So get one or get access to one so you're comfortable using it when you get into tests. Here's the objectives we're going to go through, and I want to be real clear about this portion. I'll talk about how the grades are made for the quarter. But in this course, the tests are face-to-face proctored, and you'll only be able to use this non-programmable calculator and blank scratch paper for these tests. So be prepared for that. We're going to have about 3 different ways you can get that done. But I've had problems in the past with students not understanding that. So hopefully you understand that going in, and I'll give you a little more information about specifics on that later. The quiz is due, or the final exam, that's the end of the course, is the 15th of June. Now my grading for the quarter is based on 3 different categories. I have homework, which is 10% of your quarter grade, quizzes, which are 30%, and tests, which are 60%. And I'll talk a little more about that too. But these tests, these proctored tests, is over half of your quarter grade, 60%. Here's how I derive the letter grades for the quarter. My Math Lab is the platform we're going to do all the homework, quizzes, and tests on. So you definitely need to be in there. To get into this course, you can go online and get in. You can get temporary access if you don't have your financial aid or you have no way to pay for these tools. To begin with, do not wait for finances. You can get temporary access and get full access to all the material in here. There is an online book even involved, so if you're in that case, you won't even need to buy the paper book. And if you're going to buy books, used books, or books online, you got to make sure you have a valid access code to get onto this platform. And when you get in there, here is the course name and the course ID. And I think this is wrong, this date for dropping classes, but we'll go through the schedule of all the assignments next. I think I have that right on there. Now homework, the way this platform's set up, you can reattempt questions on any homework until you get it correct. So a goal of having 100% on all your homework is not unrealistic at all. Probably the only thing that could cause, and I've seen with other students, is that if you're having some difficulty with the material, it can take some time to get that done, and there's some time management involved. But you want to practice this material and the skills and mostly understand the concepts in the correct way. So hopefully you're doing the homework correct 100% of the time would be the goal. There's all kinds of resources. This platform is very powerful and mature in how it presents the material and interacts with you as you're actually doing your homework, which is very valuable and and a real asset to work in this course. Now, homework, I do allow you to work past these due dates. I call them like a soft due date. I want you to work on this material as much as possible. And, things happen. So if you get a little bit behind, you can still go and do these homework assignments and still get graded, get full credit on anything that you complete. What I do, which I don't want to have it surprise anybody, if you do skip some assignments for the chapter, you'll have access to your grade so far in the course in this platform. Sometime that changes. If you don't go back and actually do those assignments, I will eventually, when I start testing on a chapter, I'll go, after that test is done, usually I go back and fill in any incompletes with a 0 score. So you might see a little change in your quarter grade at that time, just as a caution. Now, quizzes have hard due dates, so it's real important that you understand when these things are going to open up. You can't start on a quiz till it actually opens up, which is usually at the end of the chapter. You'll have sometimes 4 or 5 days to do the quizzes, and what I do is allow you to do multiple attempts at these quizzes. And I only take the top score out of whatever attempts you make, which gives you an opportunity to take the quiz as a pretest and take it just like you're going to take a test with just your calculator and some scratch paper, and see where you're at or how prepared you are for that test. And if that doesn't go well, as soon as you submit the quiz, you can review your questions and see what you did wrong. Hopefully it'll queue up what you need to do, or you understand what you did wrong and fix that, and then you can take another attempt. And hopefully it's a better score. But the last attempt, I would say get out your book or get your access to your book online. Use whatever materials you think you need to get the best score you can, because it does go in your grade into the grade book. So do your best on that to make sure you get a good grade. So at that point, it's kind of like homework. Now, the chapter tests are proctored. They'll be under supervision of me or some proctor that I approve of. So there's a process to make sure if you're trying to get somebody in an area that's not at the Omak campus or the Wenatchee campus with me, I need to approve them as a proctor. And usually that is other community colleges that may be closer to you. You can find out what kind of proctoring services they have, and then ask me to check them out. I'll check them out and see if it's okay. And sometimes I use libraries. Regional libraries have, not all of them, but most of them have a proctoring service they'll offer. And then I'll check that out and approve that if that's what you need. Now, the tests you only get one attempt at, so you want to be fully prepared, or as best prepared for these going in as you can. You only can use that TI equivalent, TI 30 equivalent calculator, something you can't program, something you can't have recorded things on here to help you with the test, and blank scratch paper that will be handed in after you give the test. And that scratch paper part is probably a bad word for it, scratch paper, but it's kind of like the handwritten portion of the test, because I take that scratch paper and I look at your work. You may have got a question wrong, and the platform just is right or wrong. And if I can see that you did show some understanding of the concepts involved with that question, I'll give you partial credits based on that. So it's to your advantage to make sure that this scratch paper is understandable to me. So if you're working on question 2, it'd be good on your scratch paper to show that it's question 2. Don't have it mixed with other work, and put all your work, hopefully in an algorithm style that is understandable, will be the best. And then I'll give you partial credits for that, which can really change a score on one of these tests. So make sure that you do good scratch paper. Make sure the proctor gets everything you've done your scratch work on, and that'll get to me. So these tests are a big deal, and the proctoring is required. I have specific parameters around how you can take these tests, and that doesn't waver. If you have any special needs or other services needed within the campus process, make sure that I understand that. So if there's any accommodations that you need, I can make those. At the end of this, I just say there's some additional help. Sometimes it's good to hear another voice in the instruction. You can get hold of me. The assignments in there, I'll talk about some other ways that it will interact with me so I can help you specifically with homework. There's a tutoring center in the Wenatchee campus and library that's open daily. There's usually some pretty good tutors up there that understand this platform and this coursework. And, if you can get with other students that are in this same coursework, that's always good, so you can work together and get some verbal discussion about this, which is very good for long-term learning. And Khan Academy and some other online sources. I'll search algebra and you'll find a bunch. Khan Academy has a pretty good reputation. If you work consistently on this course and do your homework, I really believe you can succeed, and it's my goal to help you do that. And then I could change some things in here. Probably not. And we'll go through the schedule of assignments and stuff in the next video.